I'm going to guess 1200 based on queen a5. And based on how white played, I'm going to guess 1800, 1900, 1850. So I have no clue. No clue. That's my point. I actually just have no idea. Like, based on queen a5, it could be 1200. I'm going to guess like 3 guesses, actually. Then I'm going to still tell you that I got the best guess. Okay, ready? Let's see. I just want to see. I just want to, like, get it revealed. Okay. Where is the button? Big window capture. Doink. What? Wait. Wait, here it says 600, and here it says 1200. What is going on? I don't know if you guys can see that. What? Why does it say 1200 here? What is happening? This was a rapid game. Yo, Doubles, what is Doubles? Doubles is 700 rapid? 700? I'm sorry. Am I reading this wrong? Did I inhale like 7 balloons before the video? Am I high on adrenaline? Bro is 700? What? Okay. I mean, look, I don't know. That was crazy, dude. Well, it's a 1200. I mean, I hope they didn't play. I can't even. Yeah, I don't know. Well, my friends, let me tell you right now. Wow. You have the force. That's what happens. You get the force, equal force. That's what happens, right? We got like 18 minutes for the remaining 3 games. Come on. We have E45. We have an Italian. So this chess user doesn't play the piano. Okay, plays this. This is one of my other recommendations. Take. Ooh. Yo, you know, actually, b4 is a genius move because a lot of people would pre-move bishop b4 check, which is quite funny. So a lot of people would pre-move this and then lose the bishop. But I mean, b4 is a move, very tricky. But okay, and yeah, now you have to push a bunch of pawns forward. Yeah, knight e4. Okay, I mean d5 is. Okay, in any of these king pawn positions with d45, if you ever take on d4 and your opponent pushes, generally the best move is going to be d5. So just keep that in mind, okay? Just keep that in mind. Okay, d4. Okay, this is clearly some sort of prep, some sort of gambit. Black has played it perfectly. Okay, this is not a 700. Okay, yeah, now you're losing. This is the problem with this is the problem with playing gambits, is that you might just lose. I mean, I obviously think white wins this game because it's Gesdilo, but yeah. Okay, queen e8. Now the bishop is hanging. Good. I mean, okay, this got to be like 2000, right? Queen e8 is crazy. If you're like 1200, you're like, oh, h6, attack bishop, you know? But okay, bishop e4, a5, I would play for the center. Queen c2 is sneaky. Oop, hangs h7, that's pretty bad. Ooh, brother, brother. h5, come on, bishop 6 mate. You're gonna be thinking bishop 6 mate, bishop e7. And, what? Bro, you hung e5. take on g5? I think you can. Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to it. I mean, you could blunder. The one idea that white has is to move the bishop. And now it's a check. Like, literally, the only idea white has is moving the bishop. That's it. It's the only idea. If you're really spooked here, you can actually just move the king. And you're fine. If you can take on f7, and you're also fine, because you just don't have enough pieces here with the attack. You just don't have enough pieces. You can open up the king, you can oil up the king. I mean, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, actually, you know what the best move is here for black? The best move is here, queen h5. Why? Why is that the best move? Shout out to Taki, who actually said that. A lot of people here with white just pre-move bishop b5. They just because they're like, oh, king g7, bishop b5. When you play here and they pre-move this, your opponent will explode. Explode. Because now you win. So what you need to do when you blunder in a position like this is you actually have to start thinking creatively. You gotta think outside the box. Because bishop d3, yeah, your only legal move is basically king g7. Right? And so you go queen h5, they pre-move this. That's when you're perverted. Like, your brain is completely perverted at that point. Yeah, king g7, and you lost. And now Chesley user went on to calmly convert the game and win without any more memes. Okay, maybe some memes. No memes. Zero memes. Dubov Gambit, this is called. Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. You know how, like, there's this joke that you tell your friends start singing a song, and then you say, hey, who sings that song? And they say, oh, Linkin Park, greatest band of the early 2010s to 2000s. And you say, yeah, so let's keep it that way. Let's keep it so that Linkin Park plays that, right? And you don't sing. So for this game, you know who plays this gambit? Dubov. Yeah, you shouldn't play this gambit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you have a good feel for being down 2 pawns in the opening. I think there's actually much better ways to... Dude, if you want to play d4, why not play the Evans Gambit? Or why not play b4? Right? Right? I don't hear the song that's currently playing. To the chat is, you know, talking, so... How is that satisfactory to win on bad pre-moves? You mean the bad pre-move that I showed? Chess is a battle of life and death. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'll take a bad win any day of the week. I'll take the worst looking win over the prettiest looking loss. So, but I do want to say that I think the control in this game, like this game has to be like 1600, 1700. It has to be. I mean, there was a lot of good moves. And then this just sucks. But yeah, I'm gonna say like 1700 this game. No, it's gotta be. Gotta be like 16, 1700. It has to be. There was only one bad move. And yeah, I think 13-7. No, but like this is I mean, guys, how is a 1300 finding moves? Like, I mean, Queen 8 is crazy. It's just crazy stuff. Yeah, a lot of good games today being played. A lot of good games. Wow. Really good. Very high quality games. Like, I mean, Black played great. Played really well. And then, okay, played, yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Okay. Yeah. Okay, Carl Khan. E5, very nice. C5, good. Gotham Course, yes. F4. You know, at the high level, Knight C6 is almost dead because of the move F4. I mean, it's worse for black. Really, you have to play E6. Why give those idiots attention? Oh, sorry. Ironic. I'm just kidding, bro. Come on, guys. It's fine. It's all good. Okay, Knight C6. Bishop E3. Yeah, so what you do against F4 is you, Gotham doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, fair. I don't know what that's in reference to, because that was the guy's only ever message. The guy's first ever message in the chat. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just in general. Okay. Easy. Beautiful. Oh, trade the queens? No, just trade the queens. Just trade the queens. Come on. Yeah, now you got forked. Come on. Oh, God. DC and you lose. Yeah, you can't even take the queen because they take your queen to check and then they take your rook. Oh. The queen's hanging. Just move it. Come on. Develop. We got a developing castle. Very nice. Right here. Normalize, stabilize the position. Good. Put the knight on d6. Put the knight on d... Finish. Knight d6. Get into that position. Now what you do here is you start preparing a kingside attack. You centralize the other knight. You slowly prepare a kingside attack. You hung your knight. But I guess you were going for f7. Yeah. Look at the fancy schmancy. That's a fake golden rule like otherwise. Okay. How do you make it? Okay, pog. I didn't take. Okay, c7. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we get the bishop, and now let's go. Let's eat. Look, I get it's the endgame. Look, I get it. I get it. We're taught to bring the king in the endgame. His ass needs to stay home right now because the rook needs to eat the house. Stop. King G1 is when your brain is like, I want to take the grandmasters over, so you gotta use the king in the endgame. Not right now, stupid. Not right now. Okay, not right now. And go eat as many pawns as you can with the rook. You cannot get forked if the king is only fun and you get forked, you suck. It's time to delete the app. Something else. Alright? Candy Crush. Alright? That's what you need to do. Don't play King G1 because you're probably going to end up forked. Good. Literally just got forked. That's unbelievable. Somehow you're going to lose. Oh my god. Good. Oh no. Oh. Pattern, or do you go knight d3 and white wins because he promotes? That's what's gonna. It's crazy because the knight can still stop the pawn. That's really not hard. Isn't that nuts? The knight can still stop. That's so. I mean, like, this is a picture perfect moment of how absurd chess is. You check the king and you make it to the defensive circuit. I mean, that's just crazy. And apparently, it's still a draw. Alright, white wins, right? White wins. And stalemates. No, beautiful. Oh boy. Alright, Carl's gone, played the position, moved away immediately. That was a little bit Uga. Then we played normal. Yeah. You know what? Okay, not getting taken is crazy. I mean, that is really wild stuff. And then the other game was also a bit all over the place. I'm gonna say like 1,050. I'm gonna say like 1,050 this game. I mean, like 1,000 to 1,100. It was good, and then it was terrible. And then it was good, and then it was terrible. And then you got lucky in the end. Yeah, I think it's like 1,000.
That's the first question.
Yeah, that's a tough
deep
one.
one. I've done
Nick Irving, welcome to the show, man.
thank you, brother.
We have I've been tracking you for a long time, years, and been trying to get your attention. And then finally, what, about 6 months ago, finally got through to you. And man, I'm just honored to have you here. And I think you're a great representation of the community that you come from, the Ranger community. And I'm really excited to dive into this. So
Kind words, man. Thank you.
But starting off with your introduction here. So you're a husband, father, you've been married for 16 years, going on 17. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's crazy. You're getting, there's like a 90, what is there, like a 90-something divorce rate? And about the past 5 or 6 guys
That's a good thing, though. Like, you don't see it often. I
Yeah.
think it's just, it's yeah, stick with something.
the deadliest sniper named over the course of just 4 months. New York Times best-selling author of The Reaper and Way of the Reaper, author of Reaper Award, served 6 years in U.S. Army Special Operations, 3rd Ranger Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment. You're the first African-American deployed in the Civil War on terrorism as a sniper in your battalion. Personnel in the Arctic, former mentor on the Fox reality show.
Why is the gun not shooting?
That sums it up.
Hello?
pretty good, yeah.
Did I miss anything?
I don't even care about that stuff, man. To be honest, like, there's a few TV shows and movies, but,
Yeah. You like doing the stuff?
not anymore. I lost that kid. I was and I lost the itch thereafter. The show was called Master of Arms. It was like a fortune finder. They were the and I just had a bad experience with that. And then thereafter, I was supposed to do a and it was my second go around with that stuff, and I just kind of lost the itch after the lifestyle. I've done like the Transformers stuff, and
You were in Transformers too?
yeah, Transformers. One of my good friends, John Field, Steve Kid guy, and it was cool. Cool experience, but it was just, I lost it. Yeah. It's going on in Hollywood that you hear about. I've had my taste of nothing along those lines of just weird stuff in Hollywood after my last show with Discovery Channel. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot is coming out about the circles in Hollywood.
Oh,
And
yeah.
none of it seems to be
Good.
positive
No.
by any means. But moving on. So I have a subscription account on Patreon. They have been here since the beginning. They're top supporters. And so I give them an opportunity to ask every guest possible a question. And so here is a question from Stephen Casey. What is the best decision that you've ever made, and how has that helped you?
That's the first question.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a deep one. Wow. What's the best decision I've ever made? Stop caring. That's probably been the best decision. Stop caring so much about the outside and care more so about what's on the inside. Meaning, what's going on in my life, observing that, how I'm feeling emotionally, the issues that I've had, acknowledging that, taking care of that. Even if you're not, I wasn't taking care of it, you know, when I first started to acknowledge it. It was
Are you talking about quit paying attention to external influences?
yes, yes.
Man, that's crazy. Just on a podcast yesterday, and I said the exact same thing.
Really?
That's crazy.
Hey, man. I was remote viewing. I heard you say that. But that's like the best thing, or best advice that I've taken from myself is, yeah, stop caring so much about the external forces that are out of my control. I can't control what other people think, you know, want to believe about me. I can't control it. Only thing I can control is not worrying so much about the outside. Like when we die, we're all going to go by ourselves. My biggest thing is knowing that one day it's just going to be me anyway. So I really shouldn't have to care about the outside forces. I have to stand before the judge for myself at the end. So.
Yeah, you know, man, that's a great. What led you to start looking internally instead of externally, and how did it affect your daily life, maybe your business life, and anything?
I would say the birth of my son. So long story. I've always wanted a family, like a kid. I wanted two originally. But I knew before I turned 30. I said before I turned 30, I want to have my first child. Fast forward, my 30th birthday, on the day of my son. Being there and witnessing that, the struggle that he had to go through. He was born with like a weird heart condition. It's good enough to do now. But it was hard.
How many times did I hit that nigga? Of that circumstance and realizing, like, I guess how important life really is, you know? It all and that's when the switch went on. Nothing really matters, and I wanted to be there for him in the long run. So that's when the switch definitely changed. Yeah, I wanted to stick around for him. I was too caught up in outside circumstances, outside forces that I had no control over. I was too caught up in the outside world. And having that center point, that center focus being my son, and like everything, I guess, went away, if you want to, yeah, all the issues that I had, not issues, but my perspective of what was important in life changed. And what was important for me would be able to raise my son and be there for him. So it definitely helped out as far as ignoring what everybody else thought. I wanted my son to think, you know, my dad is the, you know, coolest. I can go to my dad at any time, no matter what. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm always gonna be his dad. I can't always be what some guy on the internet or some family member wants me to be. I can't be that. I can't be all those things at once. I can be better for my son. So yeah.
Man, thanks for sharing that.
I appreciate it.
But before we get in, man, we're already starting to get deep here. But before we get into your life story, and that's what I want to do, we're going to start the childhood, go into your military career, go into your transition, civilian career, businesses that you run, and but before we do that, everybody gets a gift.
What do we got, man?
Everybody gets a gift.
We just talked about this.
That we did.
The gummies, man.
Those are made in the USA and are legal in all 50 states.
They are legal.
Yeah. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know.
Oh, I can make it work, man. I can make it work. Dude, my wife used to send me pounds of these overseas. Pounds. I ate in one sitting a full pound of gummy bears. By the time it came out, I had one large gummy bear in the toilet.
Oh man, but yeah, you're welcome. But so let's dive in. Let's start with childhood. Where did you grow up?
Grew up, well, born in Augsburg, Germany. Both my parents were counterintelligence in the army. During the Cold War time, copying those codes, liking those codes, and sending it off to the NSA, I believe it. After they left the army, during that time, we moved from Augsburg to Florida. I stayed in Florida for about a year in Pensacola. My parents, my mom retired. My dad stayed in for a little bit longer, and we moved to Maryland at this place that is a place called on Walker, near Fort Meade, near NSA. Not on Fort Meade, the base, but near it. It was like a government housing, and stayed there for from 80. Forget the age. 89 or 90 to 93. Cemetery.
Legitimately haunted?
Legitimately haunted.
All right, we gotta dive into this.
Legit, bro. Like,
Hold on, how old are you?
I was at 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years old. That was my first experience when I'll never forget this experience. Laying in bed. It was connected to another house. If you post the whole very small. And my dad would always say if you stood in the front door, you could spit and you'd hit the backyard. It was very small thing. So as a kid, you would always see like people running upstairs, footsteps, and my parents would, ignore it. It's just the house creaking or whatever. And these footsteps would start to come down the stairs. You'd hear heavy footsteps just going down the stairs, and they start to go downstairs, and then they stop. A few other times you would hear conversations like whispers or staticky whispers. And as a kid, you don't think too much of it. You just hear the scariest, most traumatizing, if you want to call it that experience that I had, was laying in bed. And now, to this day, I'm paranoid of sleeping. Laying in bed on my back, and something woke me up. And I see a soldier who, at the time, I had no idea what his uniform looked like. I find out later that it was like...
Yeah, I think I need to turn my sense down. I play without the mouse pad most times.
And I see a
This mouse pad is slick, dog.
I rub my eyes.
Please, man.
Put the blankets over my head. Back down.
Go ahead.
Now it's not just one. There's soldiers arriving, and they return to go down the stairs into the main living space. Maybe 10 soldiers passed by. The last soldier, he got in my doorway, turned and started to walk into my room towards me. I jumped out of my bed, ran through him into the bathroom, curled up on the toilet, and started screaming. My dad runs out, and I'm screaming at him, please don't spank me, because that's what normally would happen. And he came in, grabbed me, held me, and I told him what I saw as best as I could. He says, I know, son, I know. I saw it too. That was my first real ghost experience.
Whoa, he did see it too?
Yeah, well, to pass by, his room was to the left. And yeah, so I guess they were coming out along the hallway, walking past his door and my door before they went downstairs. And he saw it, I saw it, terrified me. And the looks of their clothes, never forget, the uniform, the long gun with the musket, but it had a long not a sword, but knife, bayonet.
Yeah.
And they were marching with the little cat hats down the stairs. I've never seen that uniform a day in my life, and I won't forget it. My last time walking into my room.
Did you have more experiences?
Yeah. I guess more recent. 15 years or so. I was working with all rifles only. It's a big precision rifle training facility. And his name's Win. And we're driving down the road to get to where the facility is. It's at nighttime. We had just gotten back from the bar. I wasn't drinking. But I was sitting passenger seat. But regardless, we're driving, and I hear it sounded like a radio came on, the static, and I heard this old lady chuckling, laughing, and she was in the corridor. That's what it sounded like. And I look at him, and he looks over at me, and it's his stomach. He looks over at me like, did you hear that? And I'm like, dude, you know. He's like, it's on the radio. He had an old pickup truck. The wires are all over the place.
Dog, I keep hitting my stuff. Man. I hit every button on accident. Pretty much.
Didn't want to believe it, but we both in the corridor talking to some, I don't know what she was saying. So,
Whoa.
When if you're out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Damn.
But that's my experience.
Well, let's go back to childhood. So you grew up in a haunted house.
Yeah.
In Maryland.
Yep. And it was the worst cemetery. That was like, and as a kid, I remember, so this is the weird portion. My grandmother, they've been introduced to like voodoo or magic. And I knew this trick as a kid of how to listen to hell with a sewing needle and a cup and, you know, listen to the screams of hell. I think it's just the echo inside the cup. But we would think the devil or whatever. We would make it out of mud and stuff like that. Me and my next door she did, and she goes to the back door. There's like they took her out to the playground. When she came back, she learned how to make when you take a gallon of milk, cut it out and make a bird. And she came back with that, and the ladies taught her how to make it, but there were no ladies. So yeah, that was another incident.
Wow.
I don't know if she knows that one.
Very sweet. How many siblings did you have?
At that time, living with her, we had 3. So me, my younger sister, and my older sister. And I have another sister. And my brother, I thought was my friend when I first met him. In Florida, I thought that this kid was cool, but it turned out he was my brother. So I have...
Holy shit.
It was good at the time.
Right on. Let's go back. So you grew up around.
I knew about it. Like different spells and stuff like that, if you want to call it that. Like how to make a woman fall in love with you, how a woman, she makes a guy fall in love with her, how to listen to hell and stuff like that.
How would these subjects get broached?
My grandmother, at the time when she grew up around it more. My mom had a spell put on her supposedly, and it made her stomach swell up with they don't know what. But she used to steal oranges and stuff off of people's trees in Georgia. And the neighbors and where she lived at was worried, and so they stopped doing it. They wanted to put a spell on her, and she hung up something in the tree. My mom hated it. That's when we got. Don't eat spaghetti from the chick you just met, or if she offers it to you.
Why?
Because you want to know, I guess?
Yeah, let's hear it.
But her menstrual cycle blood, making sauce for the pasta, they would use that and give it to the guy to make the guy fall. Yeah. Or that attachment. And for a guy to do it, he would use his underarm. Noodle water, put his underarm sweat in it to make a female do the same thing.
Are you serious? Is this stuff real?
I've never been.
You didn't pull that on your wife, did you?
No. That was the best thing.
How prevalent is that?
My parents did. They had like a Ouija board and stuff, and back before they had, I guess, their religious awakening. Well, you had a Ouija board and stuff like that, but I was never. Like my dad was always trying to get people when they sit in the chair and you stack your hands until you all feel the heat rise up, and then you sit on the chair and float, stuff like that.
He taught you how to do that.
Yeah.
Let's go into that. I've never heard anything like
Really?
this. I've never. I don't know anything about this stuff.
Sit in the chair, right? And you have one person on each. So you have one person on each knee, this elbow, and one of them not touching you. Then they're all standing around you. The person is there. Then they take their hands and they stack their right hand first, and then they stack their left hand. So it's a big, each one is stacking. When the top person, the top hand says they feel the heat, and everybody's going to be calling out, I feel the heat. When they feel the whatever is rising up through their hand, when it gets to the top person, they all go like this, and they touch this side, this elbow, and the person in the back of the neck does that, and you lift the person up.
You seen this happen? I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
I have no idea.
Like they're legitimately floating.
Legitimately, well, you're touching them, and they're in the air.
It's like some levitation.
Like that, but they're not. You don't let go. You keep your fingertips on, and I think energy goes back into them, and they blow back in. Yeah.
I will look it up.
Definitely. We'll do it one time. And it's legit. Yeah. During a, what do you call those things? Like a talent contest, or where they just like sing or like a talent show, and that's what my dad did with his coworkers. And they had this guy sit in the chair, and he had females do it, all women, and they lifted up the biggest guy in their unit out of the chair.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Totally
Really?
wasn't expected to go down this road.
Yeah. 100%, man.
So what is it? Is it a religion?
Well, not really necessarily. Like voodoo comes from Africa, and it was like, according to who you talk to or what the belief is, that was our original religion, but it was not religion. It was just a spirituality of the manipulation of the spirit world. And that's what they practiced before religion was introduced, and they were killed and stuff like that for practicing what they perceived to be is black magic from black people's magic. So they said no more and introduced a different form of spirituality, which I'm not against. I think that I think all religion is a form of magic. Even prayer is a form of magic, you know? It's just the belief that you're putting something into the spirit realm, asking a deity or an entity to whatever you want. Asking, you shall receive. As above, so below. As within, so without. All these things. So they all coincide with each other. I think all roads lead there. It's just how we interpret and practice different beliefs.
Very interesting. Back to childhood.
Yeah.
So what were you, other than voodoo,
Yeah.
what were you into as a kid? And what grabbed your interest?
Wow. I love space. I used to want to be an astronaut. My dad was a big space geek. He was always, taking me outside to look through the telescope, to look at the moon and look at the stars and show me where Orion's belt was at and how to find the North Star, the Big Dipper, Little Dipper. Like, I teach my son this stuff, at his age now, and he's 7. But, how to find north, south, east, and west, and different star constellations and how to read them. So I've always wanted to be an astronaut, like originally. That was my first. So for fun, pretending I was an astronaut, making cardboard boxes, and wanting to blast off into space. That was like my original dream. Until my dad showed me Chuck Norris Delta Force. Maybe but what I wanted to do changed. And then school. I got into school.
How was your grade at school? You weren't into it, or?
I wasn't really into it. Like, first grade was easy. Anybody can say that. But I just like to play. And I like to joke around, and I don't know if I had like ADHD or something like that, but it was hard for me to focus. And the way I used to read, and I guess I still do read. Like for me, I would read one sentence and build that story, as opposed to reading the whole paragraph and then building it or building it as you go along. I would break each sentence out of that paragraph or chapter into my mind to build that story. And I guess it just took too long, and I wasn't great at math. Started to in like the second or third grade, and that's when I used to get into a lot of trouble for not bringing home, good grades. So, yeah. And after the haunted house, I moved to near in the not this city, but in Maryland. And that's where I stayed from 1993 to 2004 when I graduated. And my entire life.
What did you enjoy? An athlete, like a Delta Wood?
Yeah. I love being in the woods with my granddad. We would take trips to this small place called Hogan's Georgia. And my granddad had a lot of so yeah, the whole like slave lineage. My great granddad was a slave and was a slave owner. And ended up raising one of the women, and so we come from like that lineage, and that land and that plot of land ended up staying with the family because the guy who is a white guy who was a slave owner, of course, and having a relationship and with slaves and mistresses, whatever you want to call her. And somehow that land, because he loved her, got inherited to the family, and he has a bunch of land out there. And yeah, my grandmother and my mom picked cotton and clean homes for people. So yeah, it was like that. But I would go down there in the summertime, and I loved being outdoors with him. He would take me hunting and show me how to shoot my first gun, which was a 20 gauge shotgun, and I like farming. I'm not a farmer, but I like to grow and maintain the crops and stuff. I like doing that as well.
Very good.
Yeah. And then I guess around middle school, that's where I got into the whole sniper thing. And sixth grade, my mom helped me make my first gun out of yarn, green yarn, sewing yarn, and a black jumpsuit that I had, and I called that my first ghillie suit. Laying outside in the field and the grass and trying to scare people. And then I actually learned how to make a ghillie suit with the burlap on an old uniform, and yeah, hiding out in my front yard, sneaking home from school or pretending to be snakes. I could come home from school early, so when the kids got off the school bus, I could scare them when they got off the school bus. And sometimes take pop shots. Well, I don't know, pop shots with a little BB gun and stuff like that. We're all my friends and stuff, but that's what we used to do as kids. Shoot each other with the one
Yeah.
BB guns, and that was like my thing. I guess it's a thing. Sports-wise, I was never great. I tried them all minus tennis and golf. You know, my best friend Andre, his granddad is a Vietnam vet, and he had golf clubs, and he stole his one day. And getting in trouble, it was cool to, I guess, the concept of golf, I think. It's okay, I just never, I could hit the ball good. So, wasn't good at that. Sucked at soccer. Football, I was okay. I just liked the hit people, and I was like, never really great though. By far, I had no future in it. Basketball, too short, you know. Not great at it either. So, sports, nothing.
Not a tremendous amount of athletic ability, not great at school. What was the homework?
So my older sister, she was in and out for the beginning portion of my life, my younger years. She would be in and out for a year or two. So we never really had like a close relationship. She had my back when I would get into fights. I got into a lot of fights, and she would help out when she could. But she was always gone too. My younger sister, she's always been there. We have the same mom and dad, and we're tight. Just like your average brother and sister. Like, we used to fight. We used to always fight. She's tight. But other than that, it was, I think, as far as my family, my mom and dad, they didn't know how to love. And they've been open about that. They didn't know how to love. They come from a broken home. You know, the father of my dad would get beat up by his dad and his 8 brothers and sisters, and my mom's 8 sisters and brothers. Like, that's what the dads did in the household. They would get wasted and they didn't know how to, and that marriage was just, you know, going on and going on. When I found out and we did, it was, they didn't know how to love or how to show emotion. My mom was never told by her dad that he loved her for, you know, her entire life. My dad's dad died when he was in the 6th grade. Yeah, and then it was just a hard lifestyle. They were both poor. Yeah, very poor. So it was, they didn't know how to love. So for me, how my parents would deal with anything was violence. Yeah, was by that. So it was like that.
Do you think that affects you to this day, or
100%.
really?
100%. Me and my sister were having a conversation about it because she had issues too. She was raped as a kid. And, yeah, a close friend. Yeah, it was even if it was not the best childhood, but as far as it affecting us now, 100%. I tried, and I don't want to be like that, so I stay away from that. But because I know what it does to a child, and I don't want that for my son. But for my sister, not many friends. We pushed, this is gonna sound weird. Like we weren't allowed to have friends. My parents, yeah, controlling in that nature. Of who we could hang out with. Yeah, it was.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I've questioned that so much. I don't know. At one point I thought it was because they did not want the word to get out that I get spanked and beat 4 times a week, and that was normal. That was extremely normal. But whether you didn't do anything it didn't matter. You just always felt that you weren't good enough. So it was my fault that I was not doing a good son. So it was, in my mind, it made sense why I would get spanked. I know I wasn't a bad kid, but then also growing up, I had my next door neighbor, the only friend, my friend to this day, Andre. We help each other a lot. I've seen his mom be beaten by boyfriends, and I've had to help with his mom, and I've seen him and his brother get absolutely destroyed by their 250-pound dad or stepdad. I just grew up around that, so it wasn't like my next door neighbors sold drugs, and I've seen them fight, so I didn't feel like I had to. Yeah, mainly for her. I would stay outside as long as I could, but it always felt like if I was having too much fun, my dad would cut it short. Yeah. Like, come inside and do something. Go clean up something. Or, yeah. It never really felt like I was allowed to be me or have that much fun without having mom or dad or whatever pick something out and bash you for it,
Damn, man.
Yeah.
What would you say to kids that are growing up in abusive environments today?
Wow.
If you had a piece of advice for them.
Man. It's going to end one day. If you have someone to talk to them. But it's just you have to be careful about it. I get it that you don't want to get anyone in trouble in the wrong way, and you don't want to also get yourself in even more trouble. That's a tough one. I mean, for me, what I did, but I don't think it's the healthiest way. You just know it's going to end one day. And I wanted to leave my home at a young age, and couldn't wait to leave home. I haven't been back since like that. So it's going to end one day. Staying strong, and yeah, that's like, it sucks not having, I've never thought about it. I don't know. It's a really tough one. I can just, go by my experience, but also see what that's done to me and my family. It's
Did you ever run away?
Yeah.
How young were you when that started?
Oh my. Old enough to where I thought running away was where you take a stick and a bandana and you tie it at the end of it and put your stuff in there. And I went like down the block and stayed for a few hours and realized I don't have anywhere to sleep. So I went back home and I ran away to my friend's house one time, and I knew that if I stayed away too long, that when I got back, my parents were gonna destroy me. So I just came back and got the lesser spanking as opposed to, getting laid on pretty good.
Wow. So you graduated in 2004? Yeah. And what happened then?
Immediately thereafter, I signed the contract while in high school. I was so in the 10th and 11th grade, I went to Annapolis. I was in ROTC and I was in Navy Sea Cadet. And I went to this baby SEAL program where you have to, like, to get in, you take the real SEAL PFT test where I think it was like a 500-meter swim in 12 minutes, 30 seconds or something, and 2.5-mile run, and pull-ups, sit-ups, and it's to the standard. But did that at 16, got scuba qualified. My whole route was Navy SEAL, and it didn't pan out that way. I'm colorblind, and Navy didn't want me. So, and my senior year, when I signed the Army contract, and I had to get the parental consent from my parents to sign me off. And 2 weeks after I graduated, I was on the bus heading to the airport to go to Fort Benning.
Real quick, you went to school.
Yeah.
You couldn't get in because you were colorblind. How did you come up?
They did the television test the first time. And it's called like you see the numbers in that pattern of colors. And I didn't see any number except for the number you're not supposed to see. And they told me I was I could not do a school or anything like that. A very small jobs that I could do, none of which I wanted to do. And so I came back and I studied all the dial-up internet. Not dial-up, it was all the easy articles that I possibly could think of. I studied them and the answers. So when I went back, hopefully, when I retake the test, I could pass it because I studied the test and I know the answers. I went back a month or two later, not even 2 months, maybe like a month later.
Bro, I don't understand. This button's not working anymore.
And it looked
Like, I couldn't click it off.
But different colors of light. And
There it goes.
I broke down. I'm crying, and next door, this army chick, nurse, she heard me crying. She came in, or as I'm walking out, she peeked her head into the doorway and said, come over to her room. Over there, there's an army recruiter there that she was talking to, and she introduced me to him, and he started talking about, do I know what Army Rangers are and Green Berets? I was like, well, I know what a Green Beret is, but I'm not too fond of what a Ranger is. I saw them in Black Hawk Down, but I didn't like what they were doing. It was what are they? And he said, well, they're like Navy SEALs, but they don't swim. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I can do that then. And the lady who was going to administer the television test, she held out the book and she traced her fingers on the number. So I just called it out. Oh, so 5. And I couldn't see anything. And I still
Dude,
have
let it go.
document.
I ran away so you could loot. I'm not trying to.
Yeah,
This whole game is about ping, bro. This whole game. No, it
That
is.
was partially my driving force. The other was I grew up telling my best friend Andre and my family that I'm going to do this thing. So to fail and not make that would mean it's not an option. I couldn't. Always, not always, but for this major.
Wasn't even just wall. I'm tripping.
Is when I wanted to be a sniper. Like I was a decent shot going out to the country. I was okay, but
Is that the same dude? I'll let him live. That was another.
So for us, we go through, at the time it was called RIP. This was after basic and after air. Make it through airborne, overcome my shattered tibia, pull that off, and RIP, Ranger indoctrination. It was like a month. I want to say a month long. And all it was just a beatdown of you just get smoked.
This one knocks, but sometimes it doesn't. Pump is all reliable.
Graduated 6 from that original class and 7 with the rollover. So we had a 7-man graduation.
Oh, gotta be hitting things on
Made
X.
it through that and got into battalion.
So that's less than 10.
Yeah, that was a weird class. It was a weird class. It was bad. It was a smoke fest. After that is when they.
Holy phase.
At that time, it was like a month long, a little over a month.
What is it a selection process?
Yeah. The 75th. Now it's called RAS, Ranger Assessment Selection Program. But now it's RAS, and it's essentially the same thing, but they've extended it to where they teach you something. So when you get to the battalion, you're just not like some guy who's just beat up, weak, private, do the basics of a
You can have it. You can have it.
Back then, it was like
How do you see me? I forgot the first game.
I get there right before
I did not hit him.
I did an entire training with them, and I deployed to crit.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. The Terminator.
Come back and talk about what it was like showing up at the restaurant. Perfect.
21.
You know, I spent a lot of time to make a sale on a CIA contract. I learned even more.
Go ahead, fry me.
The one thing I can tell you is that it pays to prepare. Right now,
I need to stop flicking.
Unfathomable levels.
You know how mask?
Tension rising.
Homeboy.
Are you prepared financially? Me? I'm buying gold and silver so I'm not caught off guard by the next recession or global conflict. And I've teamed up with one of the top gold IRA companies, Goldco, to make that happen. So I want you to go to SeanLikesGold.com or call 855-936-GOLD. You'll get a free 2024 kit from Goldco. Plus, you may qualify for up to $10,000.
I don't want to do it to homie.
Supplies last. So go to SeanLikesGold.com.
Pushing me? If you want to push, we
Gold and get your bonus.
can get it on.
Once again, that's 855-936.
I was gonna show.
SeanLikesGold.com. Performance may vary. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision. When I first started this whole podcasting thing, an online store.
Go ahead, brother. You got it.
Online as you can get. Now, most of you already know this, but I'm selling Vigilance League gummy bears online. We actually have an entire merch collection that's coming soon, and let me tell you, it is so easy because I'm using a platform that's extremely easy. That's Shopify. Shopify is a global commerce every stage.
GG, homeboy.
What I really like about Shopify
Ooh, that would have been a 185er.
10% of all
Go ahead, homie.
here in the United States.
I missed.
Right now,
I would have died.
$1 a month. It's Shopify.com/Sean. That's all lowercase. Go to Shopify.com/Sean now to grow your business no matter what. That's Shopify.com/Sean.
Oh, he's got my bag. Pretty
All
good.
right, Nick. We're back
Hey,
from the
that's
break.
mine.
How did that feel coming from walking into the regiment? I'm guessing this is probably around 2005-ish.
Yep.
A very hot time in both wars, both the Afghanistan War and the Iraq War. I'm sure there's a lot of experience coming home that has to be pretty intense.
Like, when you put on that tan beret, you feel like a ranger. You look like a ranger. But I felt like I had really accomplished that, you know, which I did. But
Do you get the tan beret after RAS? When does that happen?
yeah, as soon as you graduate, you get the and as soon as you graduate RAS, like you're doing your ceremony, you do your ranger creed, and you get your tan beret, and you don your tan beret. And from there, I had to walk across the street through this big privacy brown fence, and like 200 yards away, and that was still ranger. So I didn't have to like get on the bus or anything. Just carried my bags, got my room, and I had two duffel bags, my bed, and some empty drawers in my room, and I looked out the But yeah, my first day there, no one was back in the battalion. They were all coming back from deployment. So I had
Might as well clip it.
myself for like 2 or 3 days a weekend. So I didn't really know what to expect. I set my room up and steady before long, home, family, every once in a while.
What's your family think now that you've made it? I mean, it sounds like your parents
Dude, I fat finger every butt.
I tell you,
sounded like they were pretty upset that you were phenomenal. You weren't a telegraph. Forgive me for saying this. I feel the same way about my childhood. It sounds like you felt like you were a very unimpressive human being
Yeah.
at the time.
yeah.
So what was it like when you got your tan beret,
Oh wow.
and
No one
how
was
did that
there.
feel to tell your family? Or
No
did
one
you
was
even
there.
care?
Well, they cared to the degree of, well, at first, no one thought that I was going to make it. So in basic training, I didn't like it. You know, I didn't like waking up at 4 a.m. I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to running, rucking, and all that. So I wanted to quit basic training like early on, very early on. And I remember calling home on the payphone on a break we had during basic, and I called my dad on the payphone, and I'm telling him I don't want to be there, and I want to come home, and I was just going through it, and he told me, you can't come home. Like, no, stick with it, suck it up, I guess. So I never really wanted to be there until like after, I don't know, the first 7 weeks or so out of the 14-week basic is when I kind of, fell in the groove of things. And it was not smooth sailing. I messed up, fractured my tibia fibias and in both legs. And it was kind of smooth sailing. They came to that graduation,
To your boot camp graduation.
to my boot camp one, and they came to the airborne graduation where I got honor grad. And
You got honor grad.
yeah, from the kid who, like, I still struggle with heights to this day. Anything above 10 feet, it's like, I could black out, bro. I could black out. So it was traumatizing, but it was cool to overcome that. And I don't know if that's why I got honor grad, but I got honor grad and they came to that graduation. And I think that's when the realization of, he might actually go through with this. And I became a ranger, And it was like they were happy, but I guess scared at the same time because they knew what comes after that was going to be combat or war. So I think they, at that point, wanted to separate themselves from that. My mom, she claims to this day, or she says that a lot of her depression comes from that time in my life, was the constant deployment. But I just never understood that because I didn't feel that love at home. You know, so when it came time and I actually did become what I've been saying all those years, it was like the realization for everybody kicked in. But it was too late. So
Can we backtrack just a second? Because excuse my ignorance, sometimes I get it confused between Rangers and RAS. It sounds like RAS is the biggest kick in the ass out of the two.
100%.
Correct?
100%.
So I'd like to revisit RAS. I mean, how long is RAS?
About a month.
It's a month.
Oh, RAS now? I'm not sure. It was a month. No days
What does
off.
that entail?
Oh yeah, Monday through Monday. It's like a week. It really kicks off for you guys. It's a week, and for us, we marched out. I believe it was a 15-mile ruck, cold range, in the Onion. I forget the name. But we marched out there. A lot of guys normally don't make the time hack. So you've lost, let's say, 10 guys out of that. You get to cold range, and there's no, like, facility you live in. It's all outdoors. It's just like, minus the water and all the boat carrying. Like, we carry logs, and a lot of running, a lot of just physical beatdown.
Come on, I
You
be
land that.
spamming buttons. They just do not work.
Maybe out of the 3 days, I believe, 4 days, and we slept once. There was a short sleep.
Wet on us, but
I remember during cold
please
range,
tell me homie doesn't have a. Oh, he's running anyway. No, I respect that.
Guys were quitting.
Maybe.
10 one-day program at home. And for me, it was
Wait,
like,
he's just straight up running.
I thought that I was
Come on,
gonna
bro.
die because I looked
That's a
at
heady.
myself and, like,
No, that's a heady.
they, like, you know,
Come on, brother. Just speak. I don't care who dies.
many Pat-Tillmans, like football players, or a big
Come on, brother. Speak
and I
it.
just wasn't
Speak it
built that
again.
way.
One more time.
I expected a Ranger to be a spec ops guy.
Uh oh.
I mean, Rangers.
We got
do have
we got a
stereotype
dangerous combo here.
of being skinny, wiry.
What a dangerous combo.
I've always got skills to be I think to be a spoiler, I always thought having like Michael Phelps.
Oh, he died.
Yeah,
Hey, that's all right, man.
out of the crowd. His personality and look. But yeah,
I don't have a shotty.
It was a mass beatdown, and
We're talking like a 90%.
yeah, it was brutal, man. It was brutal, and it was the biggest shock for me. But everything was
Shotgun.
it all blurred together. No
Oh,
sleep,
make it.
little food, and
Did I have
just a
one?
continuous, just beatdown, physical beatdown. Everything's hurting. Everything hurts. You're never on time.
We don't need an
Nothing's
ER.
ever good enough. It was just a massive smoke
Is that
fest.
purple?
A smoke fest. Like,
No,
you might
green.
sit in the room and do push-ups for a few hours until the room sweats. That's what we make it rain. So guys in the room sweating.
I'll kill them both. Oh, I didn't get hit.
Air out from the heat
He won that fair and square.
He just, it's just like it rained in there. Just so much sweat on the walls, in the small rooms. It was just stuff like that. A lot of running. It's like every Ranger was a marathon.
Uh-oh.
And I was
Come in here. I'm ready to fight.
like that. I could run my
Who wants to
5
fight me?
40 minutes. I'm like a 38-minute 5-miler. And that's like my
I'm ready to go.
mile.
How did that waste their shot, bro? Door opens, no reaction whatsoever. I'm here. I'm here, boys. Don't worry. I'm in here. Where the loot at?
That's all like we focused on was the endurance and long distance runs. And I hated that.
Gonna take a trip somewhere
And,
else. Quick
a lot of
vacay.
that. And
Oh,
like I
he
said,
still
by
doesn't care. They being shot at. Bless up. That's the Lord right there. Oh, no shotgun.
not really. Yeah, it's pretty much individual. Like, especially with land nav and night land nav.
Oh, I forgot the animation.
It's just a
I died.
things to a standard just for you, as opposed to a team. And if one guy messed up, then the whole class would get, in trouble for it. But at the end of the day, it came down to just who wanted to quit and who would not quit. We had like one event at full range where we're standing in formation.
Okay.
We had just got done getting our balls smoked off, and we're standing in formation outside of the big park truck, the Houston halves, and the instructors are by this big barrel fire, and they're cooking and roasting hot dogs, and they had pizza out there, and they're like, all you have to do is just come over. We know you're hurt. Just come over, got hot dogs.
That's what I'm saying. I barely even build half the time in these lobbies. Because, I don't know, I guess I get rusty because I get pulled up on somebody that knows what they're doing.
30 minutes. You think you lost all concept of time, so you're thinking, oh,
Man, I fat finger like every second. I'll come back.
We drove around
Brother. That was an unlucky phase.
after we arrived back.
I'm shooting at you, gang. I'm shooting. I'm trying to harm you right now. Please react. I don't care if it's a shot, you freak out. Just react. Anything. Anything flaws.
Watching other guys quit, I would, I guess you could say feed off of it, where at least I wasn't that guy. So if I wasn't that guy, I can go a little bit longer until maybe somebody else quits. They can't have us all quit. I just have to outlast that guy or the next guy or someone else. But every single day, more so in ways,
He hit me hard.
I think I was just too stupid to even do it again. Too much ego. Too much ego. To get up there and you just respect them. They not playing. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think that it was different than basic training. You're more on your own and you're given a set of instructions to do something and you do it. You're not like basic training. And just how mean they were. Like these guys were demonic. In fact, I was terrified of Rangers.
I want that.
As a kid, I'm, avert your eyes, and I would always say to myself,
Right.
because
I'm sorry.
the Ranger to me always looked very neat, very, very neat, very well put together. And knowing that this guy, or thinking that, this guy has taken a life was like, I was always scared to look these guys in the eye. Yeah, that.
Alright, so let's move forward again. Check in.
Oh, the audio. I mean, I heard him, but that close is nuts. Okay. Thanks, pimp. I need that. Oh, wrong one. I'm about to get fried.
haven't. I have like. So now I'm stuck with this room full of
Did I not edit that?
beer down my mouth and throat, and I'm really bad, but they're giving me a bunch of beer and stuff like that to drink, and I remember getting and that next morning we had to run like 6 miles and knees going up. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. It was just terrifying that these guys, in my mind, all just killing people in war, and now, yeah. They were in Afghanistan.
Holy crap.
Did a few recovery operations with the SEAL team.
I need meds.
And most of the stuff in Afghanistan, that's when they were getting into more the direct action type stuff. So they were packaged.
All right.
Amount of combat that they did see. Prior to that, it was a lot of working with Delta and pulling security and stuff like that before, you know, I guess they got their hands full, Delta, and we started picking up the more direct action, purely just direct action raids, and sometimes doing side-by-sides where Delta's hitting one building and we're hitting the other building, and you know, working with them in that nature. Yeah, it was terrifying, but also at the same time I felt like it was good to be a part of a group like that. I just wasn't sure if I was, because they were animals, fit, and I had no idea how they were going to be. So I thought my time was going to be short. Hammered one night, and the next football runs like a training cycle. 6 months training cycle.
Holy crap, I am trapped. Just straight up.
Introduction. This was like
No ifs, ands, or buts on keyboard.
And my first exercise was taking over an area. And it was my first night
That's dope.
in full combat gear and equipment. As a new guy,
Thank you, brother. Thank you for the.
in the middle of
Oh,
17, and my team had started out the back ramp as a new guy doing this. My mind's blown of how this is neat. I'm actually doing like new guys. And it's time
please edit. He's gonna get in here. Why am I
my first jumping battalion.
Extra mercury.
Down, jump out into the pitch black and my under my left leg. I ended up
Knock.
cigarette.
Click. Box.
And I knew something was
Two
wrong.
nine?
Whistling in the wind, and the black figures, bodies like passing me at a higher rate than what I knew was, you know, not right. And I can hear people as I'm following, pull your reserve, screaming, pull my reserve. And I watch this thing come out like slow motion, and it, you know, comes out, and I'm looking down. I don't have much room left, maybe 500 feet, a little less than 500 feet or so, and I'm coming in on the tarmac of the runway. So I'm trying to slip and pull my risers on my reserve, but those don't steer the way your main parachute will, and I'm all tangled up and tied out. My gun, a Mark 48 machine gun, is flung out somewhere and lost in the field. It popped out, and yeah, bad experience. I landed on one leg, tore up my pants, had no weapon, and I show up to the rally point in the middle of this airfield, about to take over the airfield, and I'm mimicking like I have a gun because I didn't want to say, hey, I lost my gun. As a new guy, my first jump, so I'm mimicking like I have a gun and hoping no one's gonna notice. And the first thing they notice, like, Herb, where the fuck is your gun? And I say, I don't know, Sergeant, it's somewhere in the field, I lost it. And he blew his load. So I had to mimic the entire taking over the airfield without a weapon, just nods, a helmet, and yeah, nothing. So got the entire battalion in trouble. We all had to go out there. And it was very, and not on top of that, Then next morning, we had to all
Get me on the ground, homie. Get me on the ground.
pretty much walk the airfield. While I stood on the truck and watched all the guys look for my equipment to make me stand out. So that was my first. Yeah. After that, it was never happened again.
I mean, that can create a lot of
Didn't fuck up anymore and performed to my anything.
Oh, he's inside now. He's inside.
I guess the big thing about Rangers
Oh, that's one.
is if you mess up the standard or if you don't perform to standard, which was at least the standards. At any point in time in your career, you can do
Let me get that one.
so. I guess to rectify that was keeping a state of the gray man for as long as possible. So we first performed and keep my head down and just perform. And I figured, and what happened was after the first performance, I started to get respect.
Dang. I've never hit a single shot with that shotgun. Actually. It's so wet. Somebody landed here? Okay. Buddy. Hold on to. Hold on. I'm shooting.
They're going to Baghdad, maybe Afghanistan, Jalalabad, or Crit, Mosul.
Buddy. Just chill out, brother. Brother, just chill out, bro. I want to play the game too. Oh, he was in the same situation. No, get this, bro. Get that out of my inventory. Okay.
You were doing 90 days
You gotta have confidence in. Oh,
to keep up with
Windows button.
Delta's rotation.
Sick.
Like average.
We did 120 missions.
Yeah.
I'ma go this way.
I was scared. I thought it was gonna be like where you get off the
Bro, I don't
we
know.
get picked up in our back, so we don't go to like the airport. It's not like it's just C-17 lands in the back of the compound.
That's tough.
I thought when they lower the ramp, it was going to be bullets flying. I'm going to come out charging, and that's how you enter war. But instead, it was the exact opposite. And I kind of got that picture as a new guy when I was also high on Ambien. I took the Ambien pill before I was supposed to, and I didn't know what Ambien was. I knew it was a sleeping aid, but I took it before I was supposed to. So I had to fight staying awake while on this C-17 waiting to taxi off the runway. And as I'm sitting there waiting, I started to see faces pop out of the chairs. I'm hallucinating, like I'm cracked off this Ambien, and I'm hallucinating, and I'm seeing stuff. And my team leader Salazar, he's like, "Did you take your Ambien before?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm tripping." And he's like, "Dude, just wait." Finally get an opportunity to sleep, but yeah, we get off the C-17, we're running off, or I think we're gonna run off, and I don't have a mag for my gun with bullets. I'm like, where do we get bullets? Did I miss that meeting where they handed out the bullets before we go on this deployment? And I'm saying to myself, well, when we run off the C-17, I'm gonna pick up the first guy's ammo, it drops. Like Saving Private Ryan. But
You legitimately thought that's what...
I thought that's how we come into war. And they lowered the ramp, and you see people walking around, little coffee bean shops, and Burger King joints and stuff like that, and food places, and it smelled like, not bad, it smelled like, well, Iraq, but where we first landed at, it just smelled normal. It didn't smell like bombs and anything like that, burning bodies. And it was pretty chill when we landed. Drove to our compound. It's a compound within the big compound, but it's all sectioned off with big 12-foot T-barriers and satellite communications in there, and you have to have a badge to get into this compound and stuff like that. It was pretty neat, and within the first 8 hours we were in country.
Fight for it. Brother, it's time to go.
Off the side doors and land and get off, and I see them raise this home. I'm like,
Is there a chest in that room? I guess it's reload. I thought he was up top.
direct action. We were going to go killer capture. And they got there, the assault team did their thing, and looking at it through odds was just like, it was like watching the moon. I didn't feel like I was really there, like an out of body experience, you know, of watching these guys do their thing. And I had been watching them
Minis?
my entire training cycle, but seeing them in combat doing it, I wasn't sure if it was a 9-banger going off or a regular banger, or if it was gunshots going on inside
Yes, brother.
this little home we were raiding. But it was pretty cool to do that, and I got a chance to go trying to see how fast they were
Away
and
from me.
how good they were. But it was just weird. Like, I didn't feel like I was really there. Like, did I really earn my spot to be here as a new guy? Or I didn't feel like I was really, I was ready. I didn't feel like I was ready. 6 months went by really fast. Yeah. So I felt like that. But
Where's the stair at?
not the first one, no. Maybe James, I thought
And it's shooting?
gunshots, but it was just
Competitive?
we didn't start getting into firefights until
He got me on that one, look here.
2 ops after that. It was very in the first 3 or 5 ops, we were getting into pretty good contact.
How long training down in the country were you on your first operation?
8 hours, yeah.
8 hours.
Sometimes it's fast. We've done some where as soon as you land, you're getting geared up and you're heading out the door within a few hours.
Wow.
And it's, I think the way we phrase it, so there's always a battalion overseas. So for us, being 3rd Ranger Battalion, we would replace the outgoing battalion, which would be first. Our first would come in to replace us, and we were replacing second. And the way we would pass off information and the packages and the intel that we've gathered, we just pick it up and continue on with the missions that they were going to be doing anyways if they would have stayed for another 3 months or so. And we build our intel and stuff like that from the homes that we raid and build new packages and stuff.
So if I remember correctly, on your first deployment, you did 120 operations.
White.
Multiple events.
I'm sorry, man.
Chapter 5 or 6 is when you started.
And he had a chest.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the first operation. 14. Got it.
Yeah. We were in regarding Zarqawi. Around that time, we weren't going after him yet. It was around that time. Going after somebody with the group that the guy and I remember Black Hawk to get off and walk into the we get to this compound with like scattered buildings around it.
Broski got that aim resist.
Brick wall, partly destroyed brick wall. My team leader is next to me, and I have, we call him Ramrod, another machine gunner next to me. I'm a machine gunner, and we're waiting for the snipers to gain position to overwatch the objective before the assault team goes in. And I started hearing, at first I thought my Peltor, my
I don't know what made him look right.
I thought that I forgot to change batteries and it was malfunctioning because I heard these weird clicks and snaps in my hearing protection, and all of a sudden I can feel like gravel crumbling and hitting my helmet and my back a little bit. The next thing I felt was my team leader shoving me to the ground, Rams down on the ground, and I'm confused, like, what is going on? And he's like, dude, we're getting shot at, and that's what that noise was. I thought gunshots were like the movies are boom, boom, you hear that, and not that snap that goes by. That's what I was hearing, thinking that my hearing protection was like malfunctioning. So he pins me on the ground, and I started to hear the snipers engaging on the rooftop, and I'm hearing the snaps come in more and more. We pick up, change positions, set up a support by fire line. The assault team goes on the rooftop, and I think they smoked like 14 guys or 15 guys up there. We have a newspaper article. I have a newspaper article from that engagement. Helicopter goes down. A little bird hits the power line. It goes down. And I see that, and I never saw anything like that. It just looked like maybe he popped flares or something. I was not sure what had happened, but then I see the helicopter go down into this big, wide open field. Then we get the call over comms. Helo's down. We have to go rescue this helicopter pilot and get him out. So they're still engaged in the main objective. Smaller team, me, my team leader, 2 or 3.
We're in here. We're in here. We're in here. Ew, a chest. Oh, I'm about to get capped by the dude behind me. That's tough.
We get there, and you see the helicopter pilot coming down. He has a small MP5, like the short MP5. He has one of those, and he's overlooking him. Helicopter pieces. I don't know. Yeah, he started. That was the first on that one.
Damn.
That was the first time that I've been. I was in.
It's a shotgun.
Everything after. I never pulled the trigger. Like, that was the first time I would say, not out of fear, but more so out of what I was doing. You know, it was to put fire down in this general direction, and you traverse and search. If I'm correct, when you traverse and search with your, you're doing that with your machine gun, and helping the AC-130 and all the other things we had going on, mortars and stuff. But I never saw blind my laser up on someone and pulled the trigger. That happened shortly after. And it was weird to look at them through. I had been in Mark 48 that entire time. But also during the striker type of thing. So I was to go to striker driver school in Seattle. Or no, it's in Washington State. It's where I forget the place now. It's in Washington State. If I remember, I'll bring it up. But it's where we drive.
Ooh, look at the head twitch.
That 40-ton
That's how fast I can. That's the. I put the actuation in. Just.
As a driver, you keep rim forward in the.
I didn't even think about that. So if I move even a little bit,
pop out the hatch and use my M4 if need be.
It just
my first
takes the first shot accuracy away.
Body drop.
That's nuts.
Was.
Okay, brother, I'm down to fight. Okay. Brothers, let's have some respect. What? A little bit of respect.
On the top of the striker on the 50 count. And when I got the call to engage this guy, I was like, and straight towards us in our convoy.
I'm going in.
To come right at us, and I was going on, never trained for that.
I'm here. Man, I wish I had my mic on. I guess that clip doesn't even matter.
Hood of this car, white car, and put the butterfly switches on it, the butterfly trigger, and skip the rounds, 9-round burst from the hood, all the way into the driver's seat, and he went.
Wait, didn't I not just clip it?
Got out.
Sure.
The assaulters did, and you know, did their little
I guess I didn't.
SSC and investigated what had happened and found the explosives and yeah. But when they opened the car, I remember him like spilling out the car.
How did that feel, knowing that you had just taken another man's life for the first time?
Did not make sense to me. It didn't make sense until I got back and I went to sleep. And that's when I had my first weird dream of like I didn't feel anything. It didn't feel real because it's not what I expected. I thought it was going to be like in the movies, you know?
Big decision-making process?
Yeah. This was like, I'm not even being shot at. This guy's just driving at us at a high rate of speed, and I didn't train for that, you know? And yeah, it was a weird feeling. I didn't have a disconnect. I didn't feel anything. But I went to bed that night, and that's when I had the dream of that guy was the ceiling fan, and his arms were the blades, and his head was the centerpiece where the light would be. And he started spinning, and I'm strapped to my bed, and it's spinning faster and faster until his body like starts to rip apart in my room, and he just soaks my room with blood, and I'm like bathing in his blood, and his face stayed still, was just screaming, but no sound was coming out. And that's when I was like, oh, I guess, I don't know what I just felt, I woke up scared, but I guess that was the first real moment where I had a chance to say to myself, man, I killed someone, you know? But after that, it was like, not a normal thing, but it was, as a machine gunner back then, it was a lot of shooting, you know? A lot of laying down fire during ambushes and things of that nature. So it was different, but it was not what I expected. The first time I shot someone with an M4 was, I was hanging out the hatch of the striker, and my guys were just, the soldiers were in this, it was almost like a trench warfare. Trench thing, there were foreign fighters, and they had this trench system that the soldiers had to fight through. My vehicle blocked off the portion of the road, so they couldn't. And I remember.
What happened over there?
Another striker, Rico or whatever.
Rico.
And I remember him looking at this guy. He puts his laser on the guy, and his floodlight hits him. That's when you see the AK. And he's running back, looking at our guys, and he's running with an AK. That guy starts shooting. My guy starts shooting at him. I'm like, well, we gotta light this guy up. And my first time doing that with an M4, I hit the safety, or not the safety, I hit the mag release on the side of my M4. Mag falls out,
you want a mini, brother?
Hit the guy in the back,
check that.
And he falls down, tumbles in. You know, I had to shoot.
He had shield already.
And seeing the laser go on the guy and pull.
This thing ripped, brother. Oh, that thing ripped, brother.
But I wasn't like the sole contributor. I don't think I killed him myself. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Enemy combatants. God forbid him to get a shot. Oh.
We lost one guy in doing an IED blast that blew up his striker and a nut that goes onto one of the screws in the striker.
Oh, he hit me hard. Why does the regular pump sound like a spaz now? Oh, there, partner. Fry me. Come here. I just want to talk, brother. I just want to talk.
We'll get there. So you do a 90-day deployment, about 120 days.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Get that wall.
First, I mean, how did you gain your guys' respect? What was it about you?
I went along with the program. I just fell in line. I didn't, like, I got in trouble. You guys drunk stuff that everybody was getting in trouble for at the time. Fights,
Let me get that one
like
off
that,
you. Heal. Get another one off you. That's 2 pizzas. That's 2 pizzas gone.
some air,
Oh, there's 2 more.
and somewhere in the and he's not my team leader, wanted me to reclaim some 240s and Mark 38.
Brother,
Everybody else is going to bed.
brother,
Yeah.
brother man. Brother man.
Out, and the next day when
Brother
I went
man.
to work, there was
What are you doing?
full of team leaders who the way they take care of things and
Man, I'm gonna see how scared these dudes are gonna be. How long will it take for them to fight each other? Uh-oh, maybe not take my hands off the keyboard. Whoa, brother, you're trying to fight me?
Up your first
Don't do that. Oh, you got the wall.
very connected.
I might look. Oh. Clap it up for him. Clap it up for him.
I felt like Robin amongst a bunch of Batman.
Ew, a chest.
You know, I was
I'm about to go hit somebody with this.
So I didn't really, nothing really processed. I think it happened
I guess I forgot you can shoot after that.
relatively quick, and I got wasted. To be honest with you, like that was the first thing we did when we got back. Was just and as soon as you're done that, you're back in the training. Like there was no time to lose.
I like it. It sounded that.
We're allotted 2 weeks for
A revolution.
1 month, 2 weeks, 2 weeks before deployment. 1 semester, you're allotted for that. So, yeah, I went home to Maryland, stayed with my friend.
I
did
don't
some
know.
Cool stuff, I guess. Just hung out with friends. I didn't really think about it. It just felt easy. It felt good. I told you, I felt like my senior 11th grade and 12th grade was I wasn't allowed to, my last elementary school was not allowed to participate anymore for fighting. And then I had used up all my fight days before expulsion, and I would have to come back and repeat and just go to a different school. Like I was bullied a little bit, I guess you could say, because I didn't fit with the crowd of guys who.
I'm here. I'm here for the fight. I'm here for the loot. Give me the loot. Wow, my fingers. Hit it, brother. Take the 50-50 like I... Okay! Oh! Oh, he's in. Oh, he's in my box. My fault.
It was not a big thing. Like I didn't.
My collar with my neck.
It just was what it was. So I carried that back. I still to this day carry it. I don't ever want to kill anyone again, but because I think it does take a piece of your soul every time you do it. I don't know, my opinion. But if I had to, of course I would. I would. Yeah.
At what point did your wife come into the picture?
2006. Oh, so during that deployment, during like the later portion, I'm on MySpace. I had snuck out to go to the MWR. So that was the only place where MySpace was allowed. We were not allowed to have it on our compound or anything like that. I go across the street to an MWR that the legs use, the regular Army guys, and I go in there and I hop on MySpace, and this girl, Jessica, she messages me, and her picture didn't pop up at first, and she just says, hey, we went to school, elementary school together, just wanted to reconnect or see how you were doing, and I thought it was a different Jessica that I did not like. So I clicked X and I was like, there's nothing there. But it ate me up for the rest of that day, and because I wanted to see if it was the right Jessica. I go back the next day and her page loads up, and it's the girl that I went to school with in elementary school. In the first grade, the girl I used to pick on and threw a frog on and a spider on and stuff like that. And dated elementary school style. Same girl, but just looked way hotter. And I looked at my friend who was next to me, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna marry this chick. And he laughed, he chuckled about it, printed out her picture, messaged her, got her phone number, came back, and I called her from the sat phone. And we talked. She knew I was in Iraq, but she didn't know what I was doing. She knew I was in the Army and I was overseas in Iraq. Like, it was all I was allowed to say at the time or whatever. And I met her after that deployment. I got a flight to Maryland and I got a flight to San Antonio. And I went to go see her and stayed with her as a friend for a few days. I couldn't afford a hotel. I spent all my money on some rims, 20-inch rims.
Shotgun?
We charged me like 10 grand for something that didn't even fit on my car. So I spent all my money on that and plane tickets. So when I went to go see her, I was broke, but I was broke forever. I made it. It was a good honor. And yeah, she liked me, but not the way I wanted her to like me. She wanted to be friends, but the type of guy who's very, that's not gonna happen. And she was just getting out of a relationship. So, and he
Brother, I don't have any match.
I'm the right guy, was I will beat your guy's ass. And yeah, I just did my rule, worked my magic, no voodoo, and we ended up dating in 2007, got married in 2007 November, after my second deployment in Ranger School. Yeah, third deployment. So, second or third deployment. Ranger School, and then my second.
Okay, so you came home, met your wife, go on another deployment.
Yeah.
When did it start getting serious?
I'm going for that.
Okay, so it was always serious to me.
What's on my arm?
I introduced her to my friend Andre, the one I grew up with, and I introduced her as my girlfriend, and she was like, we're just friends. And I was
Oh yeah, I forgot.
her
It can't shoot right after.
she was all the way
Where's the
through
cone at
my
before that though? Like I placed the
like
cone
her
before that.
parents,
I'm veterinary in my crouch, but
old-fashioned Mexican, and I was a gentleman. I approached the mom, told her my
Are you?
plans. I don't know how she felt about it. She seemed like
Whoa.
she was cool about it. Until it was
Her
time
was
to talk
hacking
to
for a
her dad,
second.
and I kind of understood it, but he said no. But I didn't understand the why of what he believed in. So it was, when I proposed to her, it was tough because the parents were not for it. They didn't want any of that intermixing,
Can't build it.
you know? So she was disowned really, really quick. And she was pregnant before that. I think during my ID, it was like 2008. And the backlash he got from that initially was pretty bad. And it just went downhill from there as far as, you know, they just don't like, they don't believe in generational, you know. They told me things about what they believed about what I was. Ideas were, and why they didn't, you know, necessarily want me dating their daughter or marrying her. So it was like that, still is, and now they just don't like it.
Oh man, I haven't got that, right?
No. I remember when we had our child. Yeah, her dad held him and like discussed, told him that. people like that are just, you know, you can't change that mentality. 1, 2, it's not my first rodeo.
Whatever, I'll go fight.
Not like because of
What the game's about. I'm here, brethren.
it's more so you. But you're allowed to
Finish it.
I don't know. I think it hurt her more.
Ooh, 225s. What the? Like what?
So you meet your wife.
Yeah. Oh, after I proposed,
I'm here, brothers.
she says yes.
I'm getting in, brother. I'm getting in. You let me in right now.
So that's you know, going on this deployment, I just got that news because it was so my whole focus going over there was winning her back. You know, so I spent like that first month or so just constantly typing and trying to call and talking to her and trying to.
Oh, you're so big. Oh,
And we made the
you're
decision
so
to get
tough.
married. Finally, that's when I got it.
Second shot doesn't go off. Let's go. Uh-oh. Where's he at? Come in there.
Mainly IEDs.
Come on in there. Come in.
Yeah, like my first day in country, the first stop we did,
Come here.
driving around.
Nigga, who are you?
We had a
Okay, brother, chill out. Brother, chill out. Can I get a break?
and then you go down to where going down this segment of and the guy said nothing ever happens here. It's, you know, silent, don't have to worry about anything here. And the striker in front of me goes up, lifts up, and I'm like, that is why call IED over the comms. We go to our, you know, procedure as far as how to secure that site and provide cover. And that was the first, within the first few hours in country, like watching
So we got a flash 75,
get
right?
blown up by a, it's like
Okay.
a 50-pound or something IED.
Oh.
Buried it too low,
I mean,
or
maybe it's a
spike
bit
out or
high.
something that it didn't
Maybe.
split the striker in half, but it lifted it off the ground by a few feet and snapped the axle on it. And they had to, you know, come get it out with the big machine, big crane or something.
Was anybody injured?
Yeah, the driver was. He was
My
injured.
eyes.
Nothing too serious though. He just covered in oil.
And you can't even. I don't think you can hit headshots with that weapon. I gotta
Like,
look
I think
that up.
he broke his
No,
hip
I think you
or
can.
something like that.
Okay.
Something small.
What is it
but
even called?
Yeah, that was my first
Gauge.
experience being in Mosul, and it was like that every day. We ran about the same amount, 110 plus missions in those 90 days, and that was a brutal deployment as far as the pace that we were trying to keep up and being run to the ground. And that was a deployment where I went dry on all my ammo, the 50 cal.
So you can hit
dry
headshots.
on all 7 strikers.
That's it.
The Kiowa helicopters all went dry. The pilots were
I've
hanging
seen it
out
before, I think.
the side of their doors
Yeah,
on the
solid
pilots doing
65
strafing
for
runs
the
with
down
their
PC.
M4s and on full auto doing strafing runs on a. We were gonna go take down this apartment building, like a big apartment building. We were introduced to it. This leg unit who lived nearby to our compound knew who we were, and our rules of engagement were different at the
Maybe.
time. So they
Maybe
came over,
that makes sense.
and they needed help because every time they went down this road, they would get ambushed. Their SOP was to just blow through it, but they were tired of constantly getting hit. So they asked, you know, could we help out using our ROE? So we dressed up like them, put their patches on to look like them, went down the road and drove down that route, and no shit, man, we get ambushed by this big, like, apartment building, a few hundred guys on it. And vehicles all turned 50 that way. Everybody dismounted, except the drivers, and started hammering this building. And it was like playing whack-a-mole. Like, I'm looking through the ACOG of my M4,
a floor there. No. No.
Yeah. No idea.
Ew.
How did you get your head right from basically turn down your marriage proposal by your future wife and walking into an extreme, hostile, engaging environment?
Being shot at. Yeah, that was the only thing that made it, what was going on back at home. The only thing. It's up until that point, like, you're just waiting to get, I guess, shot at or get
The
that,
9 damage.
that rush.
I needed that.
The only focus is kill the bad guy and make it
Because
home.
I'm about to.
Once you make it home, and once I was home, then I would go back
I'm
and
sorry.
rush to the phone to call Jess and try to work this thing out. But I was always going into the mission prior to that. Crush. I wasn't used to that.
Wait, did he just land?
So yeah, the firefights, and it was a constant.
That's alright, Pimpin.
Getting in the firefights, it was easy.
What's going on over here? I thought there was another player.
They didn't have to have the ball. It was
My
like
fault.
into that performance. He decided to get married. I was back in my A game after that. Mentally. But she was the only person to ever be there when I got back from deployment. My family never. I never had family members.
Your family never did.
No. After my deployments. And like my first deployment, I was sad. You watch it, I just got off the bus and went to the room. So having her, she was there for all of them. And that, always there was really. I always had it on. From day one. It was just the process of getting there. I knew I had to
Oh, he has the gun. Shit. But did you like you just did him?
From my experience in battalion, it was rare you saw a guy, unless he was really on his A game. He could, even if he were, it was just luck. You could still be peers. You could have a bad, I honestly forget what they call it, where you take lead and you're, in charge of all your guys, plan all your rounds, and, basically like you're operating.
When did you go to Ranger School? Was it after
I did not mean to reload.
I'll never forget when I'm watching 24 with Jack 24, and my team leader comes in, and
That's tough.
when we get back, pack your bags. And I was
You might be washed.
I planned on, I wanted to get married when I got back, and I thought they were doing that to be a dick.
Mr.
And
Take
just
that
wanted
risk.
to go off that wedding thing, but when you want to be a ranger and stay a ranger, you have to go to ranger school, or else you get kicked out. So I knew time was coming. I just wanted it to be after I got married. So I'm depressed because of that. Kind of have to call off the wedding a little bit, push it to whenever I graduate. I
Brother,
said, best case,
I don't have anything for you.
plus maybe 7 days. Worst case, that's 30 days.
Brother, stop. Brother, stop. Brother, stop.
Because if you fail, you get kicked out of battalion and you go to like Korea or something. So go to ranger school.
Man, impulse don't go
first
off. That's a
day
different
was
game.
Your PT test, your 15 or 12 mile ruck march, 5-mile run. No, your PT test, 5-mile run and all that stuff. Your road march comes after the fact. You do your water confidence stuff, which like I grew up like wanting to be a SEAL and I could swim, but I'm not too comfortable with heights. So Like, that was my only thing I had to overcome was my height, the fear of heights, and that was all on mainly day one until you get in the mountain phase of Ranger School. But it sucked. Not so much physically, it was just, I was hungry a lot, you know? I was always hungry. I lost 35 pounds, and like I got sick in Ranger School. I drank some water that I didn't purify and had the worms, and I got really, really sick. Painted some trees behind me one day while walking to an objective, and just enough to put my pants down and spray the bushes behind me. And the ranger instructor was like, "What the hell is wrong with you, man? Go get checked out by the medic, get some IVs, stay for like a day at the hospital, and come back out in the field." But I wasn't able to eat solid foods for a while, you know, before it just passed straight through. Lost 35 pounds, couldn't feel my big toes for like a year after.
I think this is my last one.
Growing. And yeah, got married.
Cool game.
And yeah, skinny. Got married.
Really not it anymore. Brother Phil. Hey, we're... Oh! I didn't know you had a chest, brother. Have some mercy. Have some mercy. Have some mercy. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
So, all in... So, yeah, she showed up, and...
I'm dead. Your boy's not in a good spot. My nose go.
Ranger School is actually more of a leadership.
Surprise!
Yeah. But it was just like I would say
nowhere safe.
for me, it was hard.
I'm about to get fried.
Does Ranger School have a 90% attrition rate?
Go ahead. Uh-oh.
But it's not so physical. It's just fighting sleep, hunger, and still being able to...
Just that Braxton recoil.
Plan and
Brother. You're not gonna be able to do it back. It's just not gonna happen.
water operations and stuff like
You just gotta take that L. You just gotta take that L.
Your day-to-day job in the battalion is way tougher than anything in Ranger School. It was way tougher. It was the structure of Ranger School that made it. You know? I go around, I didn't make it all the way through. I had to recycle the first phase. And after that, I went all the way through. But, no, it wasn't too tough. It just sucked.
So you get done with Ranger School, you're married, and then where's your third one?
I did not hit that back.
So Iraq.
And that wasn't, that deployment, it wasn't like, it was fun. We gotta take a look at the like a switch boat. They had machine guns all over it, and it was like a riverine type.
Like a
Almost, I guess.
Mark 5 is like a speedboat.
Okay, yeah. Working with them, and, you know, I didn't know how things worked. Flying down the road and stuff like that. What was your
Sounds like you wanted to be a SEAL. Colorblind. Didn't like that. You went Ranger. Now you're working side by side.
working with the regular SEAL team is not bad.
You can have it.
Still in the what I expect. And I talked it up to my personal belief. I think they're really good at water operations. Like, no range of production. You know?
The angles of a lifetime, bro.
Land work and direct action. We were pretty good.
Bro, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay.
It wasn't like until I worked at 15-6 that I didn't like be a SEAL. You know? I didn't like it.
Okay, I'm getting boxed. I'm getting boxed. Oh, he has that. Yeah.
We'll get there. Let's keep it in chronological.
Yeah.
It helps me.
Yeah,
It helps me.
That's my ADD.
So you're back in Iraq, and I think I know what there's like. It was they stood up.
Okay.
And I can't remember what they called it. Like
I still haven't gotten you said.
Something I can't remember exactly what it was.
Hostile incoming. Hostile incoming.
They were cool guys. It was like working with Rangers, but
Oh, that's his. Ring of a peanut.
and you guys they had cool equipment. It was different than ours, and
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. He did it. That's him. All right, that's a GG.
yeah, some of your weapons were different, like your handguns. We had Berettas at the time. Your handguns were different.
No one.
Other than that, like we both had Mark 48s. I thought that was cool, and it was like working with Rangers, but you guys had a little bit like little cooler stuff, like the boats and
We just had a better budget.
better budget. Yeah, it was cool in that aspect.
Skate.
Seeing the things that you guys had, and the missions were pretty routine.